So what are some technology options and how do we go about pricing work? I just want to talk about the topic of, do I work from existing technology or do I build something from scratch? It's a decision that a lot of people have to make, and I just want to give you some of the pros and cons of how this plays out. There are a number of existing technology options, and I just want to give you the different terms that exist. So there's what I'd call standard commercial software, the old versions of Microsoft Office, MyOb, Games, common industry packages. You buy them and generally you install them on your platform or your machine at work. There's also software as a service. This is becoming increasingly popular. So Office 365 is the new version of Microsoft Office. You pay a subscription for that and you can use it online. You can do a range of other bits and pieces. The Google Suite, Xero, our accounting software, Slack, there's others. So Content Samurai, the product we now sell, we sell that as a subscription service. You log into a web page in order to use it. And this is the trend. This is from a business perspective, we are increasingly buying and building SaaS products, software that is delivered as a service. Open source software. This is software that you can download and install for free. And many people think this is something as a mystery, but if you have a WordPress-based website, you are already an open source software user. Linux is by far the most popular operating system that controls the servers of the internet. If you've used the internet, you've run stuff through Linux without question. It is open source. Android, there's a little bit of debate. It would generally be considered open source software. Interestingly, there are people in the room who use Sugar CRM. Sugar CRM is a competitor to Salesforce. It is a quite powerful CRM package that you can download and install for free, and you can then make modifications to. And there are people in the room who, Bruce here, who loves LibreOffice. LibreOffice is effectively an open source Office package. It's got word processing, it's got spreadsheet, it's got presentation tools, and it's free. And the last time I looked at it, it was about the equivalent of the kind of the Microsoft functionality from 5 years ago. But frankly, when I use a word processor, I'm pretty basic in my usage. I'm not using a lot of the advanced features, and so it can work really well. Finding open source software, people often don't know how to find it. Just simply open source and your product category name into your favorite search engine and you'll be away. So for example, digital asset management software is a category of software that I've happened to have 2 inquiries about just recently. And people were shocked to find that they could get their digital asset management software, which is software to manage lots of images around your organization. There was some quite good offerings that you could have in there for free. Some of the big open source issues that you need to be aware of is commercial support. So it's not made by someone who's trying to sell it to you, so they don't have the support backing to sell it to you. Now there are people who you can pay to support many of the popular open source packages. Project popularity and longevity. There are a lot of projects that people build and they just run out of steam on. And so one of the indicators you want to look for if you're going to really use open source software well is how popular or how regularly is the platform being updated, is the tool being updated. And depending on where you get it from, there are often indicators of what's called contributions, how many people have contributed to that package recently. Lots of contributions recently means you've got an open source package that's being actively worked on. Forking the code. Forking the code essentially means that you take something, you pay a company like us to change it, and the changes now leave you in a position where you are no longer able to get updates to the open source package because we've fundamentally changed the game. We've made some fundamental changes. And there are people in this room who we have knowingly forked the code, but now they've got their business is built on a piece of quite old open source software. Another one that people often don't think of, I would call it commercial source accessible software. So a lot of people come to me and they'll say, my business is like Airbnb for pets, or it's like eBay for something else. And it's true that they've seen a model somewhere else and they thought, I could apply this to my business. You would be surprised that you can find clones of a lot of systems. The 2 that we've looked at recently are eBay and Airbnb, and so you find these essentially by typing in a popular product and the word clone, or a popular category and the word PHP script. You type those in and you'll find offerings. Now, so Airbnb clone. Let me give you some issues here. I've looked at 2 in depth. One of them, the code was not good. It was really ugly, and it was being, for some reason it seems like there's people in the subcontinent who've decided to write code to sell into this market, and the good code can be written in the subcontinent, but there is some really lousy code written that I've seen there. I have also seen one that was done on the eBay side, and I looked at it, it's probably 4 years ago now. The code was really good. So they're not always bad, but they can be pretty horrible. Long-term suitability. You have the issue that you sit inside their worldview. You want to change something, often there's a whole bunch of baggage that can make it difficult to change. And the last one is custom-built software. And that's the stuff that we build and we built for many people in the room.